I've been feeling led to make this video for some time now, and I've been a little scared because there's some maybe controversial subjects here, but I've just been feeling really led to do this. So this is basically just I'm saying why I no longer consider myself part of the body positive community, why I can no longer stand with the body positive movement. I just want to start off by making something really, really clear, because this could be really easily misconstrued. So I just want to say that I firmly believe that nobody should ever be excluded from receiving love and kindness because of their physical appearance. I firmly believe that a person's self-worth should never be determined by their physical appearance. I long for every person to be free from the bonds of comparison, to not have to look in a clothing store window or magazines or movies or TV and see somebody whose body looks different from theirs and think, I wish I had that person's body. I long for every person to be free of hatred of their self-image, of treating it properly, exercising and eating good foods with the motivation being that they hate their body so they want to change it. I would love for every person to treat their body well because they love their body, so therefore they're going to keep it active and they're going to feed it good foods. I long for people not to beat themselves up because they had a piece of cake, you know? Anyway, so I just wanted to make those points really clear so that my message isn't misconstrued or misunderstood here. So I discovered the body positive movement in January of 2017, and this was just before I found out I was pregnant with my son. And if there's ever a good time to, come to acceptance of your physical appearance, it's when you get pregnant, because your body goes through so many changes. So, at the time I was really, really thankful for this movement, and it sort of helped me a lot in accepting all the changes that my body was going through. And I came to sort of a healthier place mentally in that regard. But I felt, I started feeling convicted of considering myself a member of the body positive community at the beginning of this year, 2019. I've started, my walk with Jesus has just gotten super intense, and it's been absolutely amazing. And since then, I felt really convicted about this. The first thing, and this was even before, this was maybe last year that I started feeling that this was a little bit weird, and that I disagreed with this point. A lot of people in the body positive community are really, really adamant that a person's health, as far as body weight is concerned, so if a person is obese, or if their weight is a concern, the belief in the body positive community is that their health is literally nobody's business except for yourself and your doctor. That's it. And they'll even go so far as to say that if the doctor recommends, an active lifestyle, or cutting out certain foods or whatever, and the doctor mentions it's because of your weight, that doctor is suddenly body shaming and fat phobic for saying those things. And it's like the doctor is not saying it. They think that somehow the doctor is not saying it because the doctor is genuinely concerned about this person's health. No, it's of course because they have an issue with what the person looks like, which I wholeheartedly disagree with. And I also think, you know what, my husband's health is my business. My children's health is my business. If they're you know, eating themselves into an early grave, or they're treating their body like trash, and I know that it's essentially killing them, you better believe I'm going to say something. And if I'm told that I'm shaming them, I don't agree with that. So that seemed a little off to me. That was the first point. And then I realized, as a Christian, I can't be part of the community because it's so incredibly self-indulgent. You know, it says in 2 Timothy 3 verse 2, it talks about in the end times, people will be lovers of self, and boy, are they ever. This goes beyond just appreciating the body that God has given you. This goes way beyond that. This is holding yourself up and your body up on a pedestal and essentially making yourself out to be an idol, putting yourself before God. You know, it's all about yourself. It's all about your rights, what makes you happy, and that is the absolute bottom line, most important thing. I think that's sort of the core of the body positive message. And you know, Jesus teaches us that our bodies are a living sacrifice, and you know, God should be at a higher place than, I mean, your body is a temple, your body is important, but it's not the be all end all. The last point was that I found it really ironic that the body positive community really preaches for people to fully accept and embrace and love the body that they're in, yet they're typically huge advocates for people who struggle with gender identity. They say, you know, love and accept your body, unless you feel like you're in the wrong one, therefore making it okay to destroy and mutilate this wonderful, precious gift that God's given you. Your body is absolutely perfect. You're in the body that God designed for you to be in. And people who struggle with, again, I want to make something really clear. I do not believe that people who identify themselves as transgender or struggle with gender identity should, as my first point I stated earlier, should ever be excluded from receiving love and kindness. That is absolutely not the message that I'm wanting to get across here. On the contrary, I believe that people who struggle with gender identity need to be supportive, and they need to be helped, and they need to be loved, and encouraging them to destroy the natural body that God gave them, I don't think is helping them or loving them in any way. I think it's doing the opposite. I think it's doing more damage than good. And that is a huge reason why I've been afraid to make this video, because in saying that I can be seen as a huge bigot and very hateful. But I've been really feeling like I wanted to get that across. That's it. God bless.